Thinking ahead to the really ambitious trade deal that we want to secure, how important do you think it is to keep in play for possible compromise or movement areas like ECJ jurisdiction, future cash payments, defence cooperation, and maybe future EU migration?
Right.
Or rule them out altogether?
One by one. ECJ, I mean, we had a long argument on ECJ on the phase one. And people say, oh, the European Union didn't concede anything. They wanted initially ECJ to cover the entire operation of the citizens' rights, for example, and they realised that that was not compatible with what we were seeking. And I think it's beginning to be understood in the European Union that this is very important to us. Many people say that the referendum was about immigration. You know, I think all the data shows that actually it was mostly about this issue of control. Immigration was an important but minority issue. And control is control of our laws, but also control of interpretation of our laws and so on, which is why we had a long struggle over that. So I don't see any argument there. Now look, the thing to understand, however, is that whenever we sell into another market, a foreign market, we sell into the United States, we sell under their laws and their judicial system, so their Supreme Court. We sell into the EU, we'll sell under their laws, into their and under their judicial system. If we operate in their airspace, the same applies, but not in the UK. The second one was, so you had three.
Cash?
Huh?
Cash payments?
Look, I don't expect, the Prime Minister said in terms, at the end of the time of great cash payments is gone. We may well be involved in scientific research issues, for example, where we will make a contribution. Erasmus, things like that. Why? Because it's in our interest. But I don't see us paying for access. I think, bear in mind, I could turn around to Mr. Barnier and say, okay, I'll pay you for access. I'll pay you £1 for every £1,000 of business we sell to you, as long as you pay me £1 for every £1,000 of business you sell to me. I think I make money on the deal, So that's the second thing. The third one was?
Defence cooperation?
Defence cooperation. Oh, yeah. Now, that's the difference. All of these things are about mutual interest, yeah? And defence cooperation is a spectacular mutual interest. We've had the French government visiting this week. I mean, when I went to see the French Foreign Minister, I talked about Brexit 3 or 4 times. But what he was really interested in was cooperation in the Sahel, cooperation in Libya, cooperation in Syria and Iraq. Now he's an ex-defence secretary, so there's a little bit of history there. But the French are very, very keen on this. They see ourselves as the 2 great military powers of Europe, and absolutely, defence, security, foreign policy, we will be seeking cooperation.
So can I just go back to the cash point? So, given what you've just said, you don't feel in any way constrained by the discussion that's been going on this week already about using the savings from future payments to the EU to deliver a Brexit dividend in terms of step change in public spending?
I used to be the director of a public company. I would probably be in breach of the Companies Act to talk about dividend before I was sure I had the cash for it. I don't talk about dividends until they're delivered. Right.
So perhaps I could ask you, what do you think would be a better use for that money? Using it to invest in
I'm the Brexit secretary. I'm not
single
the
market access, which might boost GDP,
I see. Right,
or using it for public spending.
I don't think that will be necessary. I mean, if you divide, we're not looking for a sectoral deal in an enormous sense, but if you divide it into goods and manufactures, agriculture and financial services. In goods and manufacturers, there's a very plain 100 billion a year advantage to the European Union in doing a deal with us. I mean, it would be. I spent Thursday or Friday before last in Munich when we did the charm offensive. My charm bit of that was visiting Munich, visiting 7 major German companies, a huge chunk of the German economy, to talk to them about their interest the other way and what they want to do. Of course, by the way, they all had investments in Britain too. So I think that's not an issue. Agriculture, much more complicated. But again, there's a massive interest on both sides to maintain big existing markets. So I don't think that will be an issue. Financial services, which is where this mounts, I think the view has changed in the course of last year. A year or so ago, if you read the Financial Times and the other financial newspapers, you'd come to the conclusion the city would shut shop the day after we left the European Union. Of course, it was always nonsense, and I think a lot of people are now coming to that view. But also, when I talk to German businesses, they like having an infinite supply of cheap money, cheap capital, I mean, for their expansion. So I don't think this will be necessary, and in any event, it will be. The other thing about this is, look, we're a very proud, great country. We've got a fantastic future ahead of us, as well as a fantastic past. I don't think it would be a good position for us to be in, to be paying some sort of Danegeld. And I come from the Danelaw.